Today we'll be discussing about the evolution of dentine bonding agents. Early enamel only or dentine only bonding systems were hydrophobic and they were applied directly to the surface of the dentine smear layer. The bond strength was found to be less than 6 MPa because that is the strength of the bond of the smear layer to the sound dentine. Later, subsequent efforts at dentinal etching removed the smear layer, but still bond strength of only 10 to 12 MPa was produced, and it was not significantly increased until bonding systems included hydrophilic primers. Ideally, the dentinal etching should produce micromechanical relief for bonding between tubules, but without excessive demineralization of tubular or peritubular dentine. Coupled with hydrophilic primers, the bond strength increased to 22 to 35 MPa. Now coming to the first generation of dentine bonding system. It was developed in 1960s. This system relied on chelation with calcium on the tooth surface to generate chemical bonds of resin to dentinal calcium. The number of steps involved were 2: etching of the enamel plus application of adhesive. That means it did not recommend dentinal etching. The bond strength was low, between 2 to 3 MPa. The development of the surface active comonomer NPG-GMA, which is N-phenylglycine glycidyl methacrylate, was the basis for Servident, which is considered as the first generation dentine bonding system. This system ignored the smear layer. The mechanism of adhesion was deep penetration of the resin tags into the exposed dentinal tubules after etching and the chelating compound which could bond to the calcium component of the dentine. Since they could chelate with calcium ions of the tooth structure, they formed stronger bonds with enamel rather than dentine. Now coming to the disadvantages: low bond strength between 2 to 3 MPa, there was loss in bond strength over time, and there was lack of stability of the individual components during storage. So this was not successful, and later second generation bonding system was introduced. This was developed in 1970s. It did not recommend dentine etching. Low bond strength between 4 to 6 MPa was there. It relied on adhesion to smear layer, but some of them employed use of mild cleansing agent. The number of steps involved were 2: etching of enamel plus application of adhesive. In 1978, Clearfill bond system was introduced in Japan, generally recognized as the first product of the second generation of dentine adhesive. This was a phosphate ester material, that is phenyl P and hydroxyethyl methacrylate in ethanol. The mechanism of action was based on polar interaction between negatively charged phosphate groups in the resin and positively charged calcium ions in the smear layer. So here the mechanism of action was based on interaction between the resin and the smear layer. Several other phosphate ester dentine bonding systems were introduced later. In addition to the problems caused by the loosely attached smear layer, these resins were relatively devoid of hydrophilic groups. That means there were two problems. First was the bond that was between the resin and the smear layer, which was a weak bond, and therefore it could not penetrate inside properly inside the dentine. And secondly, these resins were also devoid of hydrophilic groups, because of which also they could not penetrate into the dentine into the surface of the dentine. They could not penetrate properly because of being devoid of the hydrophilic groups. And So they did not wet the dentine well and did not penetrate the entire depth of the smear layer and could not reach the superficial dentine to establish ionic bonding or resin extension into the dentinal tubules. Now disadvantages: low bond strength, an unstable interface between dentine and resin because of the insufficient knowledge about the smear layer. That means the bond between the resin and smear layer was a weak bond and therefore it was not successful, and therefore the resin could not wet the dentine and penetrate the dentine properly. Now third generation dentine bonding systems were later introduced because of the inefficiency of the second generation one. This employed the concept of conditioning and priming before application of a bonding agent and involved removal or modification of the smear layer. 3 steps application, that is etching of the enamel plus application of primer plus bonding agent application was there. High bond strength was there and there was reduced micro leakage, but it was not as high as was expected. These dentine bonding agents attempted to deal with the smear layer. That means they were designed not to remove the entire smear layer, but rather to modify it and allow penetration of acidic monomers. So they employed the concept of conditioning and priming before application of the bonding agent. Thus the result was preservation of a modified smear layer with slight demineralization of underlying intertubular dentine surface. Advantages were higher bond strengths between 8 to 15 MPa, reduced micro leakage, they formed a strong bond to both sterotic and moist dentine, reduced need for retentive tooth preparation, they can be used for porcelain and composite repairs. Erosion, abrasion and abstraction lesions can be treated with minimal tooth preparation. While the disadvantages were that there was a decrease in bond strength with time and increase in micro leakage with time. Example of third generation bonding agent is Scotch Bond 2. Now comes the fourth generation dentine bonding season, which is a breakthrough in the bonding techniques. This was developed in early 1990s. Why it was a breakthrough? Because it was based on total etch technique and moist bonding concept. That means it was based on the concept of hybridization and hybrid layer formation. 3 steps application were there. That means total etching plus application of primer plus application of bonding agent. The bond strength produced was very high. These bonding systems represented significant improvements in the field of adhesive dentistry. They are based on total etch technique and moist bonding concept. Although the smear layer acts as a diffusion barrier that reduces the permeability of the dentine, it also can be considered as an obstacle which must be removed to permit resin bonding to the underlying dentine substrate. So, based on this consideration, a 4th generation of dentine adhesive was introduced for use on acid etched dentine. So here removal of the smear layer via acid etching was done, which led to significant improvements in the in vitro bond strength of resin to dentine. Because the clinical technique involves simultaneous application of an acid to enamel and dentine both, this method is commonly known as the total etch technique. This technique originated in Japan with phosphoric acid etching of the dentine before application of a phosphate ester type of bonding agent. The concept was introduced by Fusuyama et al. In 1979. Now coming to the moist bonding concept, this is characterized by the process of hybridization at the interface of the dentine and the composite resin. Hybridization is basically the phenomena of replacement of the hydroxyapatite and water at the dentine surface by the resin. This resin in combination with collagen fibers forms a hybrid layer. Hybridization is thus process of resin interlocking in the demineralized dentine surface. This concept was given by Nakabayashi in 1982. So, the fourth generation dentine adhesives included 3 essential components and are more accurately described as 3-step total etch systems. The 3 essential components were: number 1, phosphoric acid etching gel that is rinsed off, a primer containing reactive hydrophilic monomers in ethanol, acetone or water, and an unfilled or filled resin bonding agent. So thus you can see the significant improvement in the bonding system was when the fourth generation of bonding system was introduced, because here in addition to the total etch, that means simultaneous etching of the enamel and the dentine was done, which was not done earlier. Earlier only etching of the enamel was done in the earlier bonding agents till the third generation, but since when the fourth generation was introduced, simultaneous etching of the enamel and dentine was done. So obviously this helped in improving of the bonding of dentine, but also there was introduction, along with that there was also introduction of the moist bonding concept, where hydrophilic monomers were used, hydrophilic primers were used, and they caused hybridization, and therefore this also led to increased bonding of the resin to the dentine. And whereas earlier, before the fourth generation, earlier bonding agents, the primer that was the bonding agent that was used in the earlier bonding systems before the fourth generation, there the monomers that were used were not hydrophilic, but rather they were hydrophobic in nature. In this figure you can see fourth generation bonding agent, which shows adhesion by the formation of a hybrid layer. Now advantages are ability to form a strong bond to both enamel and dentine, high bond strength to dentine between 70 to 25 MPa, ability to bond strongly to moist dentine, and they can also be used for bonding to substrates such as porcelain and alloys, including amalgam. Disadvantages are they are time consuming, they need more number of steps, and they are technique sensitive. Technique sensitive because more number of steps are needed. Examples of the fourth generation dentine bonding agents are All-Bond 2, Scotch Bond Multipurpose, OptiBond, FL, Clearfill, Liner Bond 2. Now coming to the fifth generation dentine bonding system. This was developed in mid-1990s. It uses 2 steps, total etching plus application of primer and bonding agent. Since here the primer and bonding agent are available in a single bottle. It has high bond strength. Since primer and bonding agent are available in single bottle and there are 2 steps, therefore it is easy to use, and therefore also there is reduced post-operative sensitivity. They are also known as one bottle or one component bonding agents. In these agents, the primer and adhesive resins are in one bottle. Basic difference between 4th and 5th generation is the number of components of the bottles. 4th generation bonding system is available in 2 bottles, one primer and other adhesive, whereas 5th generation dentine bonding agents are available in one bottle only. That means in 4th generation there is an etchant, there is a primer and there is an adhesive, whereas in 5th generation there is a etchant plus there is a combined primer and adhesive in one bottle only. Advantages: high bond strength, almost equal to that of 4th generation, that is 20 to 25 MPa, easy to use and predictable, little technique sensitivity, reduced number of steps. The bonding agent is applied directly to the prepared tooth surface, and reduced post-operative sensitivity is there. The disadvantages are lesser bond strength than 4th generation dentine bonding agent. Example of the 5th generation dentine bonding agent is prime and bond, OptiBond solo, and single bond. Now another breakthrough occurred through the introduction of 6th generation dentine bonding system. This was developed in early 2000s. Here there was etchant plus primer plus bonding agent, and they were available in single bottle. Here the main improvement was the use of self-etch primer. The bond strength was lower than 4th and 5th generation bonding agent, but the post-operative sensitivity was quite much reduced. In 6th generation, the etching step is eliminated because etchant, primer and bonding are available in a single solution. Most self-etching primers are moderately acidic with a pH that ranges between 1.8 and 2.5. Because of the presence of the acidic primer, these bonding agents do not have a long shelf life, and therefore they have to be refreshed frequently. What happens is that in these agents, as soon as the decalcification process starts, infiltration of the empty spaces by the dentine bonding agent is initiated. That means here there is a simultaneous etching and priming process. In this diagram you can see infiltration of the resin while priming, which results in formation of a continuous layer incorporating smear plugs into the resin tags. Since the smear layer is not removed, this results in sealing of the dentinal tubules. Now, the 6th generation bonding agents are of two types: self-etching primer and adhesive, which are available in 2 bottles, primer and then adhesive, where primer is applied prior to the adhesive. Water is the solvent in these systems. Then second type comes self-etching adhesive, which is also available in 2 bottles, primer, adhesive. Here what we do that a drop from each bottle is taken, mixed and applied to the tooth surface. For example, Promtel POP. So in the first type, first primer is applied and then adhesive is applied, and in the second type, a drop from each bottle of the primer and adhesive is taken, it is mixed and then applied to the tooth surface. So these self-etching acidic primers include a phosphonated resin molecule which performs 2 functions simultaneously: etching and priming of the dentine and enamel. So therefore, unlike conventional etchants, self-etching primers are not rinsed off. The bonding mechanism is based on the simultaneous etching and priming of the enamel and dentine without rinsing, and therefore this forms a continuum in the substrate and incorporates smear plugs into the resin tags. So what happens in these self-etched primers is, here you can see this figure which shows type 1 and type 2 6th generation bonding agents. So these self-etched primers, basically what is the main advantage of their introduction was that because of the simultaneous etching and priming of enamel and dentine without rinsing, the bonding technique was simplified, and also the elimination of the rinsing and drying steps was done, because there was no need to rinse off the etchant, because etchant and primer were in one bottle, they were together. So simultaneous etching and priming was done, and there was no need to rinse off the solution. And thus this caused the simplification of the bonding technique, and post-operative sensitivity was also decreased, and most importantly, the elimination of rinsing and drying steps reduced the possibility of overwetting or over drying, because the rinsing and drying steps were eliminated. This reduced the possibility of overwetting or over drying, which can therefore have negative influence in adhesion. As we have seen, if we overwet while rinsing, if we overwet the dentine, or if we over dry the dentine, this can have negative influence on adhesion. And since this step was eliminated, therefore there was an improvement in the bond strength also. Now coming to the advantages, comparable adhesion and bond strength to enamel and dentine was there. Reduced post-operative sensitivity was there because they etch and prime simultaneously, and also it etches the dentine less aggressively than total etch products of 4th and 5th generation. Demineralized dentine is infiltrated by resin during the etching process. Since they do not remove the smear layer, the tubules remain sealed, and this results in less sensitivity. Also, they form a relatively thinner hybrid layer than the traditional product, which results in complete infiltration of the demineralized dentine by resin monomers. This results in increased bond strength. They are much faster and simpler. They have much faster and simpler technique. Now the disadvantages are, the pH is inadequate to etch enamel. Hence, the bond to enamel is weaker as compared to dentine. Bond to dentine is 18 to 23 MPa. Since they consist of an acidic solution, they cannot be stored, and therefore they have to be refreshed, and therefore they may require refrigeration. Now, coming to the 7th generation dentine bonding system, they were developed in late 2000s. They are all in one concept, that is, all the components are available as a single component. They also use self-etch primer. Bond strength is good, and there is no post-operative, no or very little post-operative sensitivity. They achieve the same objective as the 6th generation dentine bonding systems, except that they simplified the multiple 6th generation materials into a single component, single bottle, one step self-etch adhesive, thus avoiding any mistakes in mixing. So 7th generation bonding systems have shown very little or no post-operative sensitivity because of the reduced number of steps. There is only one step. Example of 7th generation bonding agent is iBond. Now this is a table which shows comparison of the number of clinical steps of different dentine bonding agents. In 1st generation, the number of steps are 2. The enamel is etched and adhesive is applied. In 2nd generation, also 2 steps are there, enamel is etched and adhesive is applied. In 3rd generation, there are 3 steps: etching of enamel plus application of primer plus application of bonding agent. In 4th generation, there are 3 steps. There is total etch, that means simultaneous etching of enamel and dentine plus application of primer plus application of bonding agent. Now the difference between 3rd and 4th is that in the 3rd generation bonding systems, hydrophilic monomers were not there, whereas in the 4th generation, hydrophilic monomers were included, which improved the bond strength and which also led to moist bonding concept. And also there was etching of the dentine. So total etch was there, simultaneous etching of enamel and dentine. So this was a breakthrough in the dentine bonding technology. Then fifth generation was the same as the fourth generation, only the number of steps were decreased. So there was total etch plus applying bonding agent, because that bonding agent consisted of one bottle containing primer and adhesive. Then came the sixth generation bonding agent, which was also a breakthrough in the bonding technology, where self-etch adhesive was introduced. Here the number of steps were 1 in the sixth generation. There were two steps. There were two types of sixth generation bonding agents, as we saw in this earlier classification. That sixth generation bonding agents are of two types. They are available in two bottles, but coming to the steps, the primer is applied prior to the adhesive. So in one type, there are two steps where primer is applied and later adhesive is applied, and in the second type, which is self-etching adhesive, it is also available in two bottles, but a drop from each bottle is taken, mixed and applied to the tooth surface. So therefore in this type, the step is only one. The applying step is only one on the tooth surface. So therefore the sixth generation shows number of steps that are 1, where application of self-etch adhesive is there. Whereas in the seventh generation, all the components are in one bottle. And here the step is application of self-etch adhesive, where you can see that it is a single component, single bottle, one step self-etch adhesive. In this figure, you can clearly understand even better how the evolution occurred. In the fourth generation, you can see there is a etchant, there is a syringe of etchant, there is a primer, there is a adhesive. In fifth generation, there is an etchant and there is one bottle which contains primer and adhesive. In the sixth generation, there is self-etching primer and a bottle of adhesive. And in the seventh generation, there is one bottle where all these components are mixed, and therefore all the components are mixed together in the seventh generation bonding system. So number of components of the bonding agents you have understood from fourth to the seventh generation. So this is the basic evolution of the dentine bonding agents. So this chapter finishes here. Thank you.